Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Victrix Medieval Miniature series. This is part 3. In this episode we're taking a look at my second squad of foot knights, and I've done 10 in this colour scheme you can see in front of you. Now if you recall from the last episode, we did a red and black theme here with the white kind of heraldry of a lion on the shields there. I was very pleased how they turned out, and I was really excited to start the next squad, but in a different scheme. Now I came up with this scheme just looking at different medieval images of knights and things on Google Images, and I sort of like this blue and white theme, which caught my interest, and really wanted to try it out and actually test my ability a bit more with these guys. So I actually put some images of this on my Facebook in the Victrix community group that they have on there, and people seem to really like it. It's got quite a great response, so thank you very much if one of you people liked what you saw there, and anyone who's come over here, welcome to the channel. So yeah, let's talk about a bit about these guys and like how I've done what I've done. So I think a lot of people really like this checkered blue and white kind of tunic. I've done it on a few shields as well, but I've never done this before, so it was a bit of a challenge. I'm going to walk you through how I decided to do it. So basically how I started was I I painted a blue thin line across, going all the way across around, and kind of gauged the size for the next line up, and then just continue doing that all the way up the model. Once I'd done that, I decided to do the lines going down, and I kind of started both the lines, you know, where this like kind of gap is, which I found that's kind of the easiest way to plan this out. So once I had the lines, horizontal lines and the vertical lines, I then had to calculate if the blue and the white would match up. So for instance, as you can see, I started blue here, and I didn't want to end blue on this side, so I had to count all the boxes around to make sure that by the time I get around to this side that it wasn't going to be blue and it was going to be white. So that was a bit of a challenge. And then again I had to do the same going up the tunic as well, so it all matched. So at the top, yes, it's not entirely perfect, but you're not going to see too much of that, to be honest. So on this miniature it worked out quite well in my opinion, and so I decided to do it for another model in this squad here. Now in this one, the boxes didn't line up perfectly, so I actually had to kind of repaint over a line and then space out with another line. So yeah, it was a bit of a trial and error, but I'm really pleased how they turned out, and it just adds so much interest to the model and makes it look so detailed. So yeah, I'm really happy how it's turned out overall, and I think just with the kind of helmets and uniforms and weapons that these guys are using, it just works really well. Slightly biased obviously because I've done it, but it is what it is. So when it came to the shields, it's a bit more tricky because obviously you've got like these smaller bits on the sides, and I couldn't really avoid that without starting again. If I was to do this again, I'd plan it out a bit better, but I still think it works and quite happy with the result. So yeah, so I tried some other things on some of the shields. So you've got you know, just the bog standard checkered blue and white there. Again, I did a checkered pattern on this shield, and I also added a transfer of this like griffin. By the way, I've got all my transfers from a company called Mighty Brush. They do a wide selection of decals there, especially medieval types like this. So if you're interested, I recommend having a look there. Also done some other just painted on some different patterns here. And I think the last one, yeah, this one here, I went a bit overboard with the blue, and you can see it hasn't really worked out very well on the back, but I could easily touch that up, and I actually might do that, to be fair. But I thought just adding like a wash of dirt and grime would help, but it clearly hasn't. One thing I'm pleased with is the decapitated head and all the blood that's gone onto this model. Particularly like how the axe has turned out, kind of like a rusty red, you know, just bludgeoning people to death. And yeah, another model I really like is the two-handed axeman. Yeah, really cool. And I just want to show you a comparison of the red and the blue. So you can see these are the same models, but just with a head swap and a different weapon in their arm, they look very different. So that's a cool little thing there. What else have I got to show? Went a bit overboard with the blood on this guy, but he has got two axes, and he is swinging it around like a maniac. So I decided to just add a bit more blood than usual. And I particularly like this one as well. I like how the blood's come out on his axe. And yeah. Now you notice a couple of these guys have got some blank shields, which I still have yet to apply the decals, or I might even add some more kind of like white to it, you know, similar patterns to this perhaps, or something different entirely. But for the most part, these guys are 100% complete, and I'm very happy with the results, honestly. And it's really fun just bloodying up your models. A couple of guys have asked what I actually use for the blood. Well, this is the paint that I use for that. So it gives a nice, thick, glossy blood look. Really recommend this paint if you're going for that kind of look. So yeah, that's kind of these guys. Like I said, I had quite a lot of feedback on these, and great response from people. And me myself, I'm very happy. Now they were more challenging, but I must say it was a lot of fun to try this out. So yeah, going forward, I still have 10 foot knights to paint. However, I have actually started them, and I wanted to kind of show this to show you the progress, the step-by-steps. Like, so all my models, I start with a primer of whites, and for the most part, most of the models are metallic. So I start with those next, and then I start picking out the other bits, like the belts. Next on the list would be the swords and scabbards, the like tunic underneath the chainmail, and then finally I can sort of plan out how I'd like to do the colour scheme for the actual guys. Now I'm not going to reveal what colour scheme I'm going to use on these guys yet, but I do have a plan for them, and I'm looking forward to getting them painted and showing you them. So that'll be in the next video. But just have a look at some of the poses, because I haven't actually shown these off yet. Obviously got to do all their shields as well, and I've opted to give all these guys this like bucket type hat, and they're all wielding spears. This spear in particular is larger than the rest. Is it that one, or is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So he will be holding, or eventually having a banner coming from this spear. I just haven't decided what yet. See this guy here, he's got the trumpet with a nice little flag kind of drapes from it. And what's different with these knights compared to the other ones that I've done is there's a lot of bare faces and a few hands showing, so you can get some skin detail on these guys, which I particularly like. And then I've got some kind of just you know, standing firm kind of looking soldiers. So once I finally get my castle built and painted, they could be manning that, for instance, on the top of the wall. Again, just another kind of standing guard. And then finally I have one that's just kind of moving forward, getting into battle or position. So yeah, quite some dynamic poses, which I tried to do here. So that's kind of the foot knights, if you like. I do have 2 left over from the kit because there's 32 in the kit. And what I plan to do with those extra 2 is to use them as like dead bodies or corpses on the battlefield eventually. So what's next in this video is an unboxing. So I ordered these a couple of days ago and they arrived yesterday. So these are the medieval foot sergeants. I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can have a proper look. And I must say this is a very, very good kit. I rate it even higher than the foot knights, and I will explain why as we get into it. So similar to the foot knights, we have a little booklet here which details you know, how you can build your miniatures, the options, and it's color coordinated to the pages on the right here. And again, you've got some more features here. What I really like about this kit is they've added these pole arms, which give a lot of versatility. A lot of versatility to this kit, and you can build them in a variety of ways, which is really, really good. But the reason I'd actually rate this higher is not only because of having the pole arms, but as I said in my previous review of the foot knights, there were several problems with the kit. One being that a body was split in half and you'd end up with multiple guys kind of looking the same. In this kit you don't have that problem. As you can see, all the bodies are like whole. The only difference is you can swap out a few legs to give different movements or things of that nature, so that's a really good plus. Another thing I really like, the heads. It seems like they will be easily attached to anybody in this kit, and that was one of my real gripes in the foot knights for me, because as I discussed, some of the necks and heads weren't compatible with each other, but in this kit I don't think you have that problem. As well as the pole arms, you also have a lot of other options. So you have like the drummer, so you can make a drummer there. You can have a guy with this like kind of machete type weapon. You've got spears, you've got axes. I did see a horn player somewhere, I can't see it right now. I bet it's right in front of me. Oh yeah, just there. So yeah, there's a lot of variety here. You have all the shields attached to this kit. In the foot knights it was separate, but I like that they've added it in here. Also seems like there's a lot more heads, so you've got all of these at the top, you've got a few there, and you've got 5 at the bottom there. So that's a good mix of stuff there. And then finally on the back you can see some examples of how you can build them. I'm still undecided exactly how I'm going to build them, but because I built like 3 factions from the foot knights, I'm going to do the same sort of thing with this kit and have like 3 different units which go with each, you know, 1 unit will go with each faction. So let's actually just take a look at the sprue, just in case you guys are interested to see it. So here we are with the pole arms and the axes. Very, very nice, and I will be using these. I really, really like some of these pole arms, and just the unique look of them is very, very cool. So you get 4 of these sprues. So I believe that's enough to actually kit out your the entire kit if you wanted. So that's very, very cool. And then we get 4 sprues, 4 main sprues. So you've got all the swords in scabbards there, you've got your heads, drummer kit, and the bodies themselves, which I really, really like. I really like this kind of this padded aesthetic that we've got going on. Now there are a couple in chainmail, and I suppose you could you know, potentially use them or proxy them for Foot Knights. However, the legs are unarmoured, unlike the Foot Knights. So yeah, just be aware of that. Now the heads I particularly like. We've got none of them are covered up like in the Foot Knights, so they're not armoured as such. But so what I mean is you can see all their faces, which is great. So you know, kind of like light infantry. Yeah, and again just a few more heads at the top there, and yeah, just very excited to get these guys done, but I do want to finish the Foot Knights first, so that's my plan. So in the next video, which should be a week from now, I will have these guys completed, and I should have most of these built and organised into the factions that I want them to be in. Now I do get quite a few questions asking what games can you, game systems or rules can you follow, or sorry, not follow, but you can use these in. Now I don't actually play the game, or any game. I just really enjoy painting and building, but hopefully you guys can draw inspiration from what I'm doing, and if you play any game system you can implement them in that. I think it really just depends on the game system, and then kind of figuring out what loadout you would like to use with it. So yeah. Also, I'd like to mention that I have a Instagram account as well, just in case you guys want to check it out. I have a few various pictures of all the stuff that I painted on there. It goes by the same name as my YouTube channel, which is the War Chest Townsend, and I recommend joining Victrix community group on Facebook, because you can see some awesome stuff that people have done on there, some truly incredible paint jobs and conversions and things. So yeah, I frequently visit that, and I do post a few things on there. I've got a lot of my Greeks and Macedonians on there, so yeah, it's worth checking out. Just like to say before we finish this video, massive thank you to everybody who's continued to show support to my channel. Thank you for all the likes, comments and subscriptions, and as the channel grows I hope to add more and more content, and anything you guys would like to see, please leave any suggestions in the comment box, and I will try my best to implement them on the channel. So that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time. So thanks for now, and bye for now.